Hi, I'm Adam. Just an update really on what I've been uploading on YouTube just lately about my drug addiction and alcohol journey from being an addict to now, which I'm just over 5 years and sort of 3 months clean, which I've explained in the last videos is, please don't think of it as I'm doing this because I'm bragging that I've got over 5 years under my belt. It isn't that at all. It really isn't. And I can remember sort of only being days and weeks and hearing and listening to people that were sort of years in, and maybe even thinking that their finger was off the pulse a little bit because it had been so long since they were sort of deep in addiction. However, it doesn't fade, or it hasn't faded for me anyway. I'm generalising everything that I say, thinking that it's the same for everybody else. And honestly, God, I don't know, because as I explained in my last videos, I don't go to meetings. I started going to meetings when I first got clean, because basically they were the avenues that are open to you, that you hear about, that and possible rehab, if you get a decent doctor, meetings, but ultimately, eventually, after probably under a year, I decided to go it alone. And I did download an app, My Sober app, which I don't use all the time. I do sometimes go on, not necessarily for inspiration, but maybe to try and sort of help others out. I'll just get it up to show you which one it is, but it comes up like that, basically. It's called My Sober app. So basically what I wanted to do on this one is I just wanted to do, I've not long got out of bed for the simple reason is I had a seizure, an epileptic seizure, and I feel a bit, I feel low today, if I'm honest. I feel a bit depressed. I feel a bit low because I ache, because I've been in bed, because there's a kind of guilt feel there. And I wanted to do a video where I'm not as upbeat, that I feel a lot lower. I'm still going to try and get my steps in. I've done a few steps this morning and some weights, but every step is a hard step today. Every hour is a hard hour. I feel a bit low today, and I always sort of do. I think after a seizure, I always feel a bit low. My mental health takes a bit of a dip. My physical health takes a real dip. I am a lot weaker, a lot more lethargic. I could fall asleep in an instant, and I struggle doing the slowly approach of, the next day, do not as many steps, not as many weights, not as heavy weights, but I struggle with that. I want to get straight back to it, and when I can't, it pisses me off. And my wife tries to help me with that and say, you're trying too hard straight away after. And I sort of know that I am. I want to be back to where I was straight away and feeling the way that I was straight away, and that doesn't work like that. So I just wanted to do this video to talk about who I was and who I am now. A completely different person. And I think approaching sobriety, before I was sober and clean, the thought of a sober me was a worrying one. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I would enjoy life anymore, if I would have any friends, if I just didn't know. The future was massively uncertain. So approaching it wasn't easy because I'd always done it. I was 39, nearly 40 when I finally got completely clean and sober. And from that point, I was a different person. I don't really know how to describe it, I suppose. I knew I was. I could see I was. The things that I liked and accepted, I was going off and I wasn't accepting any longer. You know, some friends that were dickheads and things, and I thought, you know, they're not for me. And it over the next course of the next few years, I became very isolated. I didn't want to go out, even go out the house, let alone go out to any sort of function or a pub or a club or a party or anything really. I felt out of my comfort zone. My comfort zone was when I closed the door and even closed the curtains and hid myself away. And some doctor's appointments and some tablets and bits and pieces later, after maybe 3 or 4 years of addressing my mental health issues, that they were completely separate, but they'd always been there. You know, the whole self-medicating thing, which is a term I don't particularly like, because for me it is sort of it's giving you a bit of a pass. You know, I'm self-medicating, so that's the reason why I've been doing it. The self-medicating, look, we all know it doesn't work. You know, it just kicks the can down the road. And what I mean by that is, you know, you're not facing your problems right now. You're just kicking it down the road a few feet, and you will still encounter it, and it'll probably be worse. You know, it's like putting a bill in a drawer. If you get a council tax bill for £100 and you put it in the drawer, it's never going to get any better. It's absolutely going to get worse. And that's all we do. We're brilliant at kicking the can down the road as addicts. That can continuously gets kicked down the road. You just don't want to face up to what you know you're going to have to face up to. And getting sober is facing that, and it is facing whatever you've kicked down the road. It's probably you've upset family and friends, you've maybe stolen from them, you've kicked a lot of cans down the road. I imagine I certainly did. And all of these cans need addressing. However, some of them that do need addressing don't need addressing straight away. There's some that I probably still haven't addressed, you know, probably certain ways that I treated certain friends that I haven't actually got back in contact with. And I do take opportunities like that when they arise. Let's say if I was out of order to a family member that I haven't seen since, I then bump into years later, I would speak to and apologise to. And half the time they say, well, it's fine, I didn't realise there was anything wrong, or no, you weren't rude to me, or whatever, maybe being nice. But ultimately the apology is always there, even maybe if it's not 100% needed. If I feel like it, then I do. And this is a beauty of not feeling bad about talking about it. I always found that becoming clean, I always thought that talking to somebody else that was an addict was always a bit of a taboo, because you don't really know if they want to talk about it, or if the people around them that you're talking in front of know about it, or if they're embarrassed about it or trying to hide it, or you just don't know. And honestly, can you trust the fact that they are completely clean? That's another relevant question, that you're talking to somebody that that tells you that they are, but you're going on their word, and the word, let's face facts, of complete liars. We absolutely are, or at least were. So if anyone does give you advice, absolutely listen to it, but it might not necessarily work for you. And that's how I tried to do it. I went to some meetings, and there were some definite helpful people there. Some that I still sort of bump into now. We don't talk about it because, again, it's anonymous, but we do still sort of see each other now and again, and it's just a sort of a nod, and seem to be getting on well, sort of thing. So back to the video that I wanted to do of who you were and who you are now. Now, when I was at school, I was, again, like I said, I felt like I was the life and soul of the party. I felt that if there was anybody drinking and acting like a fucking idiot, it would have been me. Anyone that was sort of saying, come on, let's not go home yet, let's continue, would have been me. I was just that person, and I'm not now at all. If anything, I'm now the guy going, is that the time? Can we not go now? Which sounds boring, doesn't it, to somebody that wants to party and takes drugs and drinks and everything else. It's a complete U-turn. But over the years, it just doesn't make me happy anymore. And I don't have to consciously sort of say no to anything anymore. I just know that I won't do it. Getting up this morning was particularly difficult because I was unbelievably tired. I was off the back of a seizure, so I was aching. I was, I just wanted to stay in bed, but I knew that the staying in bed, it wouldn't help in the long run. I needed to get up. I had to get up. And it's a little bit similar to when you get clean and sober. You have to push yourself. You have to push yourself maybe even into a state of where you're not comfortable. But just sort of visit there and come back to where you're comfortable again and keep doing it. Keep pushing yourself, keep testing yourself, because you don't want to become a recluse. You don't want to not have any friends or family around you. You haven't got to hide away. But you do, once you've done your initial, who am I? What do I like? Where am I going in life? Then you need to start pushing the boundaries. And I'm saying you have to do this. You don't have to do this. This is where I believe that salvation sort of lasts. And salvation, I don't know if that's a religious word or not, but for me, salvation is a happy place. And I'm in it. I'm in a happy place. And again, I'm not doing this holier than thou. Oh, look at me. I'm really happy. You too could be like me. Not at all. I'm just saying from where I was from to where I am now is a massive, massive difference. And why do I want to do these videos and put myself up for ridicule? Well, I don't really care about ridicule. That's one. And two, that I know there's a lot of other people out there that just need a chat and just, need to understand that there is there is a way through. You don't have to be doing what you're doing. There is a different path. There is. And even if you didn't do well at school and you have no prospects like myself, there are other avenues to feel fulfilled in life. They're just different. They're different avenues, and some of them are hard pills to swallow. The epilepsy was a real difficult pill to swallow. It still is a difficult one to swallow, to be honest. After so many years, after over 10 years of having these seizures, they are difficult. But that's a part of my journey. I will continue to strive to find a resolve for these fits, and my mental health. I do tend to try and take care of that as best I can, be that from walking or music or going to the gym or talking, or whatever it may be. So where are we today? We are Thursday. Time flies. It just flies. As you get older as well, it seems to pick up speed. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that. So this is just a quick video to say hi, to show you my journey. I am going to get some more steps in around the house. I'd like to hit 20,000. I am at 5,261 at the minute. Just a quick walk around the house, do some weights, listen to some music, try and get back to a bit of a positive mental attitude, which is struggling to come through at the minute. I want to sit down and eat biscuits on the sofa, if I'm honest, but I'm not going to. I'm going to continue to walk and listen to a bit of music and wait for my wife to get home. I'm sure she will go for a walk with me as well and find that positive mental attitude. And if I don't find it, by the end of the day, at least I will feel happier than I would have done if I'd have sat on the sofa gorging myself on biscuits. So either way, the outcome will be better. The sun is out, beautiful. It's just beamed out. My chickens are there, looking at me. So yeah, I'm going to carry on. So stay strong. Yeah, we're not at the weekend yet. Just try and stay busy, stay strong. Subscribe if this helps. Watch any videos if they help, and I'll continue to upload. Thanks.